Fall in. What's up, fam of Liberty, and also everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some unknown, mystifying, unfathomable reason. It's your new best friend, Big Sarge, or the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I'm the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that's been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns and shit posting since 2015. If you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time, and or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking by the name and whatnot, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. If you know the words, sing along. Fuck Donald Trump, fuck neo-Nazi legal immigrant Elon Musk, fuck GOP politicians, fuck these limp-dick Democrat politicians that aren't out there fighting for us tooth and nail, and also, fuck billionaires, wealth hoarders, the ones that have their fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Neither this channel nor its comment sections are a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, convicted felon, adjudicated rapist, Wish.com fascist oligarch, an failed insurrectionist, a guy who hates veterans, a wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or a sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain, thin-skinned, beta bitch-made man-child from South Africa that nobody fucking elected. Now you know where I stand on things, so if you're still here, and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a triggered snowflake who doesn't understand a goddamn thing about the handling of classified information, then maybe consider following the channel after you watch this video and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. Fix bayonets! First and foremost, if you've ever served your country and you somehow still believe that Vice President Donald Trump, yes, I said Vice President Donald Trump, cares about veterans or the actively serving troops, then I need you to go start a shotgun, because you are a fucking fool. 4 U.S. Army soldiers with 3rd ID, Rock of the Marne, you bunch of dog-faced soldiers. 4 soldiers from the Marne Division's Raider Brigade died during a training accident in Lithuania. Details are still emerging, but it appears that they were crew members of an M88 Hercules armored recovery vehicle, which is a big goddamn enormous beast of a track vehicle meant to tow tanks. From what I understand, which isn't much, but is still more than Donald Trump or Secretary of Defense Pete, WhiskeyLeaks Kegbreath, and I'll talk about that in a second. From what I understand, the vehicle entered a swampy area and became submerged, which if you've ever seen a Herc, then you know how deep that swamp's gotta be. Anyway, the deceased were unable to escape the flooded vehicle, and the vice president and the suck def were too busy playing fuck games, lying about their usage of secure, encrypted messaging app Signal on their personal phones instead of paying attention or doing their actual jobs. So they're out there fucking around and telling bald-faced lies instead of handling the matter surrounding our fallen warriors. So to make matters even worse for these OPSEC-challenged chucklefucks, the Trump administration has once again demonstrated its incompetence and recklessness in handling sensitive military operations. As you're no doubt aware, and to which I just alluded, The Atlantic released the whole-ass leaked group chat on the Signal messaging app, revealing that top government officials, including Suckretary of Defense Pete Kegbreath, actually casually discussed the U.S. attack on Houthi militia targets in Yemen. The shocking breach of security protocol has exposed the specific operational details that could have compromised the mission and endangered American lives. And the administration is like, oh, it's not classified. They weren't talking about anything classified. And then suddenly Atlantic's like, okay, bitch, ante up. And they release the whole fucking thing. And suddenly everybody's like, oh my God. So now they're pivoting to, oh, well, we must have been hacked. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I had a couple of dildotic dipshits in my YouTube comments the other day insisting that it was fake. Like, motherfucker, how do you know? Because you were there? Actually, it wouldn't surprise me since an uncleared, unvetted journalist was also in that chat. Hegseth is a 44-year-old ex-Army major with little experience beyond hosting a weekend show on Fox News. He shared highly classified information about weapons, jets, and target objectives. Experts have argued that such discussions should never have taken place on a public app, but rather in a secure, compartmented information facility, or SCIF. If you're an intel person, you already know what a SCIF is. So this cavalier attitude, which is displayed by these officials who used emojis like the fist bump and the fucking fire, were celebrating potential civilian deaths, which became clear when they talked about they nailed a guy who was walking into his girl's apartment and the whole apartment is gone. That's deeply fucking disturbing, and it's also unbecoming of those who are entrusted with our national security. This is not an isolated incident for Kegbreath, whose tenure as defense secretary has been marked by a series of missteps. He's questioned the value of NATO, challenged U.S. presence in Europe, attempted to ban transgender soldiers, and nearly provided Elon Musk with a secret briefing on war plans against China. These actions, combined with reports of excessive drinking and allegations of mistreating women, paint a picture of a man who's woefully unqualified for his position. The Trump administration's response to the scandal has been predictably dismissive, with the president essentially calling it a witch hunt and demonstrating a fundamental misunderstanding of the situation. This incident is emblematic of the broader issues that are plaguing Trump's security team, which has been described as stupid, reckless people pursuing stupid, reckless policies. As veterans who have served this country with honor and discretion, we need to demand accountability and competence from those who lead our armed forces. We also need to demand that they fucking pay attention when soldiers die, instead of getting on fucking Fox News and being like, well, these guys are just engaging in a witch hunt and it's totally false. According to an article published today, March 27th, by F.P. Wellman on his Substack On Democracy, a high-level source within the Department of Defense has revealed that Trump administration officials ordered the installation of Signal, an encrypted messaging app, on government devices last month. This move reportedly overrides existing DoD information security protocols and potentially violates multiple laws, including the Presidential Records Act and the Espionage Act. The article suggests that Signal has become a primary means of communication for senior Trump administration officials, raising concerns about the vulnerability of national security communications to foreign intelligence agencies. Now, according to a Wired article that was also published today, March 27th, National Security Advisor Michael Waltz's Venmo account was discovered to be public, revealing a history of transactions that included payments for beers and fantasy football. The article highlights that this oversight is part of a larger pattern of security lapses within the Trump administration, and it's just days after it's like, 3 days since the Signal incident involving Kegbreath. Cybersecurity experts that were quoted in the Wired piece have emphasized the potential risk of having public-facing financial accounts for high-ranking officials, as those could be exploited by adversaries for intelligence gathering or social engineering attacks. And if you don't understand what that means, just think about how Matt Gaetz was discovered to be a pedophile. They found payments to underage girls on his fucking Venmo. It gets even dumber, fam. German publication Der Spiegel reports that it's uncovered the private contact details of U.S. officials that were exposed on the internet, specifically information belonging to Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Suckretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz. Der Spiegel confirms that the private phone numbers that it uncovered belonged to Gabbard and Waltz and were linked to their Signal accounts. Der Spiegel's reporters found this information on Waltz and Hegseth by first submitting a request to a contact information service, receiving email addresses and phone numbers for both officials. Like LexisNexis and other websites just like it. They then used Hegseth's phone number to locate a linked WhatsApp account that had been recently deleted, and used Waltz's email address to find associated passwords from previous leaks. They further used this information to find Waltz's apparent Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, and Signal accounts. Whilst Gabbard's information was blocked in the contact information services, Der Spiegel says that its reporters were still able to find her email address on both Reddit and WhiskeyLeaks. Not WhiskeyLeaks. They were also able to locate a partial phone number from a previous leak, using it to find linked WhatsApp and Signal accounts. Most of these numbers and email addresses are apparently still in use, with some of them linked to profiles on social media platforms like Instagram and LinkedIn. They were used to create Dropbox accounts and profiles in apps that track your running data. The only place that Pete Kegbreath runs to is the fucking Class 6 store on whatever post he's renaming. The least qualified and least internet-savvy idiots are running the government now. These are the idiots that some people voted for. These are the idiots who complain about DEI hires, despite the fact that veterans are DEI hires. And guess what, fam? Gabbard and Hegseth and Vance and at least one other person in that Signal group chat are veterans, and therefore DEI hires. So much for a meritocracy where only the best and most deserving get hired. This is a kakistocracy, and if you don't know what that word means, basically it's just the direct opposite. Hey friends, it's Brother Billy Mays here. Now it's time for the church announcements. The website 23andMe has filed for bankruptcy, so for all y'all that were sending in your spit so you could find out how Scottish or Viking or Roman you are, you may want to go delete your data, because your DNA is about to become available to the highest bidder. And with the government that we have right now, that's dangerous. Instructions on how to do so are in the Sons of Liberty Discord server announcements channel, and it should be coming to the Substack and the Facebook imminently and directly. Next Tuesday, the Sons of Liberty livestream will have 2, possibly 3 transgender veterans as our guests. I'm gonna warn y'all troll-ass motherfuckers right now that constantly scour our social media because Big Sarge is fucking your mom rent-free in your head. Our live stream chat will be heavily moderated, and my admins and moderators have explicit instructions to shoot first and to ask questions later. If they so much as think you're fucking around, you will find out. So be civilized or get fucked and die mad about it. Hashtag not sorry, not sorry. Speaking of live streams, I'm still dying to have Senators Warren and or Sanders on the live stream, and Reps Ocasio-Cortez and or Jasmine Crockett on the live stream. Jasmine Crockett, be still in my heart. If you can deliver this opportunity to our humble little platform, I will buy you a Sons of Liberty shirt or hoodie of your choosing. In a couple of days, the Sons of Liberty will be launching a crowdfunding campaign on IndieGoGo. We have an ambitious project to film 1 documentary episode per month where Big Sarge and 1 or 2 admins head down to 12 different Civil War places of interest. Yeah, we'll meet up with Admin James and Admin Matt at Gettysburg because why not hit up the King Daddy of battlefields in July on the anniversary of the battle. But we'll also check out some more obscure bits of knowledge. As an example, Harriet Tubman was the first woman to command a U.S. military operation. That's right, the badass Underground Railroad conductor, who's since been made an honorary general and now outranks almost every MAGA veteran, led a raid of 150 black soldiers of the U.S. colored troops, which predated Buffalo Soldiers. They raided up and down the Combahee River, liberating some 700 enslaved people. This was a major PR victory for the North. Barbara Smith, if you're out there watching and or any other members of the Combahee River Collective are still out there watching, I would absolutely love to have you on our live stream. For everyone else watching that just had a what the fuck moment, go Google the Combahee Ferry Raid and then separately Google the Combahee River Collective. Anyway, skip Starbucks for the next 2 days and save yourself $10. We don't get to make the documentary web series if we don't hit our crowdfunding target. I've got a special one-of-a-kind Sons of Liberty t-shirt for most backers, and certain backer tiers will have some measure of input into creative control, or maybe you can slip me a few lines to say during an episode. Campaign starts April 1st. I'm going to skip my obligatory disclaimers for this particular video because this is already going to be like a 30-minute video. I can feel it already. Well, there were a lot of gaffes. I don't know. Maybe it'll cut down. Who knows? Anyway, join or die, fam. 2 claps and a Rick. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!